I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, Inside the Mega Events. It's a trillion-dollar sports business, to be sure, and about 50 to 60% of those dollars are wrapped up in the mega events, the championships, Super Bowls, All-Star Games, World Series, Wimbledon, tennis majors, golf majors, NASCAR championships, IndyCar championships, Ryder Cup. All of those too numerous to mention. I'm in my office to kick off the show, but I'm not here a lot. I'll be on the road on a weekly basis to bring you the inside tips from those major events. The balance sheets, who wins, who loses, the interviews, how you put on the events, and how you sustain them. This is all brought to you by Edelman Financial.
Money doesn't come with instructions. That's why we created Edelman Financial Services to help you with everything from college and retirement planning to managing your investments, helping you achieve retirement security. We're among the nation's top financial advisors. Come see how we can help you.
This, believe it or not, is the world nerve center of golf. At least I like to think so. Jupiter, Florida. Behind me, you can see it, the Loxahatchee River. 5 houses down, Ricky Fowler. Few houses down the other way, Justin Thomas. You can really see it if you squint. Tiger Woods' place. Joe Namath has a place there. He doesn't count. He's not really a golfer, but he pretends to be one. The bottom line is, if you strung together the endorsement deals of the golfers within a mile of here, you probably get $400 million. Doesn't affect me, though. Try to play golf. Big deal. I play a lot. Basically 100 rounds a year, maybe even more. But the deal is here, the United States, about 37.5 million avid golfers. 60 million golfers worldwide, according to the National Golf Foundation and otherwise. We need to take a look at the business of golf today. Let me read you some stats, which are important. Golf Economy Report done at U.S. Golf Day, where we went to Capitol Hill and talked to Congress about what they should do to improve golf. $35 billion in revenue from golf courses, resorts, driving ranges, and the like. About $26 billion in tourism spending, about $7 billion in new home construction, important, meaning the economy and the golf course business is increasing. $6 billion in sales of new equipment. And by the way, let's add this up. 12% increase recently in balls, 12% in wedges, 9% in irons, 9% in drivers, and a few less in overall equipment. Bottom line is people are spending the money and spending it well. Also, about $2.4 billion in professional tournaments and player endorsements. We talked about that before. And, even more important, about $2.5 billion in golf charity and philanthropy. So the golf business is really on the move. The real issue is, what are the questions coming out of Carnoustie? Well, when you take a look at what Tiger did, a 5 rating with NBC and 33 million hours of streaming, set all kinds of records. The 5 million was bigger than any final round open since Tiger won in 2000 at St. Andrews. So we're talking about a monumental lift just because of that comeback. Let's remember, he had the lead after 10 holes in the final round. If you stop it there, it's over. And how about this? The other deal, which is really important, is that Tiger continues to move the needle in a very healthy way in the golf industry. After he had his bout with a fire hydrant, everybody was talking about how there are two kinds of tours. Tiger and Tigerless. And the Tigerization of the tour was very important. Now we have prize money that is very significant, and we have a stabilization across the board. When Tiger actually got into the business years ago, let's look at the date, 1996. The average tournament purse, about $1.5 million. Today, $7 million, an increase in over 350%. This last year, first place, 263,000. Today, 1.2 million, 378% increase. Back in 96, 10 golfers had made over $7 million in career earnings. Understand the economy's increased and you have inflation, but yet now we have over 160 making over 10 million, and a few of them live within 5 or 10 miles of here. So it is very clear that Tiger's had an impact. And by the way, my neck is hurting. I need some of that KT tape. Remember on Sunday, Saturday, Tiger wore that tape in the final round and third round. $4 million of what people on Madison Avenue call fortuitous product placement. You know what that means? All that means is that we now have some dollars that are very significant because of Tiger. Well, Tiger isn't the only one that moves the needle. He's very important, but we've got to look at other aspects of the golf business as well. Beautiful thing about Florida golf is rain or sun, you're always playing. Water in the background, you're always playing. Bottom line is Florida's golf business is over $30 billion. It's tied into the tourism industry as well. But you have to take a look at some of the other numbers. The Champions Tour, we're celebrating the tour at St. Andrews this week. $55 million purse size, about $2 million average purse. John Daly in it. Will Phil Mickelson join? And also 4 countries and 18 states have existing tournaments. The superstar is important, and the dominant American superstar is even bigger. And so the bottom line is the hungry Americans certainly enjoy playing, but can we expand the Champions Tour internationally? Japan Airlines sponsoring an event. We'll see how that all turns out this year to see the future of the Champions Tour. Let's talk about the superstar himself. Well, God rest Arnold Palmer, and may he rest in peace. But by the way, he made $40 million last year despite not being with us. And also, his passing 2 years ago, he sold his piece of IMG for $2.5 billion, so we're not going to hold a bake sale for Arnold Palmer either. Yet, $200 million in sales from the Arnold Palmer drink alone, clearly superstar important. Jack Nicklaus, above 300 golf courses as well. Gary Player, Nicklaus, Tiger wants to follow suit. Even players that Mark McCumber and others have taken tracts of land and turned it into a marketing deal and golf course design. Only, as we said, because the marketability of golf very significant and continues to be up. Other issue clearly is youth on the course. That's really important because when we talk about the future of golf, it's all about the kids who play and the girls who play as well. 120% increase in the last 8 months for that program called Youth on the Course. $5 kid rounds at 900 courses. Great idea, continues to take off. But what about the girls? Take a look at the LPGA numbers. It's the fastest growing segment with a 51% growth in the last 8 years since 2010. And since 1995, the girls and women, 17% of the golfing population. Today, over 1/3. Good that we know that, really very important. And finally, as we said, about $4 billion in charity. There's a move afoot to take a 501c3 exemption away from the PGA Tour. Millionaires playing for $1 million purses, says Congressman, yet when you take a look at golf courses and golf business generating $4 billion for charity they otherwise wouldn't get, I say it's fairly foolish to even tinker with that. But then there are issues, by the way, in the future. The World Golf Series, $20 million purse per tourney. Haven't talked about the details of it, but it is lurking in the weeds, and there are people that want to promote that, much to the chagrin of the golf stable organizations and much to the excitement of those on the fringes. And sponsors got to worry about tournaments in Orlando. For others, it's not cheap to sponsor a golf tournament, not only on the men's side, but on the women's side as well, and that's important. Well, my bottom line is this. The golf business seems to be very, very, very good. But here's the best news of all for those of you who are interested in this Facebook, and we'll always give you a reason why when we're at a major event it matters to you. Well, here's why. Because according to the statistics in Health and Fitness magazine, who took a look at a lot of stats around the world relative to golf and health, a walked 18-hole round carrying a bag or using a cart equal to a 5-mile walk. Total caloric expense of an 18-hole round, 2,000 calories for walking, 1,300 while riding. Golfers have had better static and dynamic balance control and confidence than other non-golfing, older, healthy adults. When walking 18 holes of golf, blood glucose levels fell by 20% for the young, 10% for the middle-aged, 30% for the elderly, and body weight slightly reduced for all groups. Here's the bottom line. More golf, get healthy. More golf, have more fun. More important than that, the industry seems to be heading in the right direction, and we head to the next major event, the Senior Open at St. Andrews this week. More to come. PGA Championship, Belle Reve, Ryder Cup this year, an incredibly successful season. Rick Horrow, sports professor, Facebook and Mega Events. See you next week.